Hi, welcome to Weekend Box Office Predictions and Movie Review. I am the Box Office Wizard, and for today's show, we're going to give an update on Beat the Expert and see how I'm doing in comparing my predictions to other experts. Also give you predictions on this weekend's box office, and also some movie news on Coming to America, War for the Planet of the Apes, and also the China box office itself. So, Beat the Expert last weekend. I actually had a decent week, but Box Office Pro just had one of the most unbelievable weeks that I've ever seen. He won it at 95%. So I remember there was one week last year where a lot of us were in the low 90s overall, but just had a great, phenomenal week. Sometimes I get jealous of all the input and information that they do gather on their website with ticket sales and everything else. I don't have access to that stuff, which makes it kind of harder for me at times, but at the same time, though, great week for them. Second place was Box Office Profits at 88.1%. I came in third. I had a great week at 86.4%. And coming in last was Box Office Mojo at 84.4%. So overall, everybody did very well compared to what we usually do. Box Office Pro took over the lead again at 82.2%. Box Office Mojo is now in second at 81.5%. I'm right behind there in third at 81.4%. And round out the bottom is Box Office Profits at 78.2%. I like seeing that we're kind of jumping around. That kind of makes it more interesting. It's going to be a great year overall. And like I said, I love doing the predictions overall. And hopefully I can beat out the experts again this year. Hey, let's get to the predictions. Number 10 this week, I'm going to go with The Shack. This movie, obviously still going to have a good run at this time of year with Easter and so forth. I'm actually surprised it's dropping a little bit quicker than it is. But either way, though, it's had a successful run. I'm going to put it in at $2.1 million this weekend. It should bring in around $53 million here in the U.S. Coming in ninth would be the movie Chips. Very disappointing weekend last weekend, which I wasn't surprised because the movie looks terrible. And obviously people are responding to that. Put it around $15 million after this next weekend. I'm going to put it in at $3.75 million this coming weekend. Coming in eighth will be Get Out. This movie will have another great weekend at $5.35 million. This movie has just done unbelievable numbers. It's now at about $150 million. Put it around $155 million here in the U.S. after this next weekend. Like I said, with a prediction of $5.35 million. Coming in seventh this weekend will be Logan. This movie did cross over $200 million this past weekend, or this past week. And it's now at $569 million worldwide as of Wednesday night. So it's continuing doing great numbers. It's going to have another good weekend. I'm going to put it at $5.8 million. And it is starting to lose some theater, so it should just have a few more weeks here, probably 3 or 4, before it starts moving on to your cheaper movie theaters and so forth. So, coming in sixth this week will be the movie Life. A little bit surprised at this movie last weekend. It did come in a little bit light. The story looks great. I was a little surprised with seeing what Arrival did and so forth not too long ago. But either way, though, I think it'll have an okay weekend. I'm going to put it at $6.8 million. Which is about a 40-45% drop, and it should put it at about $25 million overall here in the U.S. So, coming in fifth will be the movie Kong. Still doing really well. I'm going to put it in at $7.4 million, which is a 50% drop. This movie actually had a huge weekend in China last weekend with almost $70 million for a debut. So, it's off to a great start there in the second largest market, and it's already at $400 million, over $400 million worldwide. So, coming in fourth this next weekend would be the Power Rangers. Movie had a big start last weekend with over $40 million. I'm going to put it at a 60% drop to $18.1 million. Either way, though, this movie's doing great. It has been getting strong reviews, and people are giving it a big thumbs up on it. So I haven't really heard anything negative about it. One thing I do want to mention about the movie as well. In last weekend's video, I did mention that it was a movie I didn't watch or a show I didn't watch growing up. Well, I was already grown up by the time this movie came out. Remember, I was sick, so just wanted to clarify that. I'm a little bit older than I look probably, but either way, though, I've never even seen the show, so other than flipping through the channels. So, coming in third this weekend is Ghost in the Shell. This movie's been probably the hardest one I've had to predict this week. Stars Scarlett Johansson, and I'm sure you've seen it. She looks like, actually if you glance, she almost looks half naked in the movie. So, but she's not. She's just wearing a bodysuit. So, either way though, I've been kind of on the edge of this movie. It could be a potential, not a bomb, but at the same time, it's not one I'm warming up to. Either way though, it's going to do some decent numbers this weekend. I think the studio had it 25 to 30 million. I'm going to fall in that range of 27.8 million, but I think that might possibly be a struggle for this movie. But then again, people may respond to her because she is people like to go see her movies. So coming in second this week would be The Baby Boss. This movie looks pretty good to me. Reviews on it stink, of course. So usually when you think a movie's funny, it's just kind of silly that But either way, though, this movie's going to do very well this weekend. Definitely will hit number 2, unless for some reason Ghost in the Shell just blows out the water. I'm going to put it at $33.8 million, and it may even do a little bit higher than that. Coming in number 1 this weekend will be a three-peat, Beauty and the Beast. No surprise. This movie has just continued to dominate the box office. It's definitely going to be well over $800 million after this next weekend. I'm going to put it in at only a 45% drop. My total will be $49.7 million. Love to see it crack $50 million for this coming weekend. Movie news. Actually, Eddie Murphy announced that Coming to America 2 is a go. I didn't care for the first one at all, so I'm kind of surprised. Although, he has kind of been out of the limelight for a while, so maybe this is his opportunity to get back in. I'd love to see it succeed. I think he's always been very funny overall. It's just one of those movies I didn't care much for him. So, War for the Planet of the Apes, new trailer drop, new poster. If you go to my Facebook page, just type in Box Office Wizard, look to find me. There is a link to that as well if you would like to see that. And last but not least, the China box office. It was recently announced that that they have been doing a crackdown on theaters on basically cheating. And there's been over 300 theaters that were actually penalized from either a forced closure or penalties, or they were fined and penalized up to $145,000 for giving numbers that were either inflated, they lied, stolen receipts, etc. So there's a lot going on over there with their box office, and they've actually got box office film regulators that actually check and make sure that the receipts that they're turning in are legit. So I guess it's been a pretty big problem for the last several years. So hopefully they can get that squared away. Hey, get your predictions in now. Put those in the comments below, and I will see you next Friday, and I'll continue giving you predictions you can count on. They're better than the weatherman. Take care.